Alright, this is going to be my video for frog lube. Alright. This stuff, there's been plenty of videos on it, but I want to do one because I used to use hoppies and everything else for a long time. I don't use anything but this. It is a CLP, cleaning lubricant protectant. It's biodegradable, it's food grade, and it even has a nice little minty smell, which you can't smell it, and you can see how much I use this. I use it a lot. And I don't have the kit they give you because I bought the real deal. I bought the big tube. I got a lot of it. I got the big liquid. Oh, well, anyway. For the people that are wondering what it is, like I said, this stuff is awesome. There's plenty of videos on how to apply it. I don't think I'm going to apply it, but I'll show you basically what I do. Even on upkeep, because after you use it 3, 4, 5 times, and this is my 1911. This is one. You've probably seen the video on it. I have one. It's a Smith & Wesson E-Class, and this is an STI with G10 extreme grips on it. STI Spartan. Let's see if you can focus on that. There you go. Alright. Now, these are new guns. Okay? This is a Phoenix Arms Raven. Hopefully it'll focus. This gun is, I don't know, I'm going to say, I know it doesn't look it, but it is. It's, I think the thing, 96 it was made. I bought it in 97. This was for my wife, but she never shot. And this is safety checked. No magazine. This gun sat in a little gun case for years. There's pitting on it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in this light. You know, this is a decent camera, it's not the greatest. There's a little pitting, but this thing had rust on it. It didn't really even function right at the range. It didn't do crap. It didn't work correctly. And I think about a year ago, I started using this frog lube on everything. Wood, plastic, everything. It's ridiculous. This gun, I can't make it not fire. Before, it wouldn't fire more 1 or 2 rounds at a time. And then it wouldn't eject, or it would stick open, you know, stovepipes, everything. And I started using the frog lube on it. I cleaned it a few times with it, you know, every now and then put a few drops in it while I'm shooting it. And eventually, now I can't get it not to work. This stuff is not a joke. And proof of that, I have, this is a Remington 870 Police Magnum. Hopefully that focuses in. Okay, this gun I bought for like $300 and some. Okay, just like this. It looked like shit. It had, I mean, hopefully you can catch it on the camera. You see the two-tone color from it sitting in a police car? Well, they don't use them. They do use them, but they don't use them enough. This had rust all over it. It was terrible. Even this folding stock had rust all over it. I mean, it's still got nicks and scratches. It's used, but this thing works. I mean, and this is safety checked. It's empty. No rounds in it. Okay. This thing works. It's ridiculous. I could, with my fingers, throw it in the battery. It's crazy. I've shot this, I don't know, 300, probably 300, I'd say 300 rounds, a couple of slugs. Definitely some buckshot out of it. The insides and everything, this stuff, all the rust that was on it came off of it. I mean, you can still see maybe in some areas there's a little bit of orange. Let's see if it'll focus. There's a little bit. It was all up the barrel. It was all over everything except for the trigger. It was everywhere, and just scrubbing it and cleaning it, treating it. I mean, this stuff works. This is not a joke. this 1911 was brand new, okay? So, didn't have anything wrong. It was a brand new gun. I know one other person that has the same one, but it's in black. And when you fire mine compared to his, even the trigger on his gun, my trigger is, it feels better. I can't explain it. Even on this gun, which isn't a bad gun, but you're talking, you know, over $1,000 to well under $1,000. And I'm sorry, I'm a lefty, so I keep holding it that way, but this stuff makes the gun fire. It just gets in there, and it lubes the trigger. It lubes everything. I mean, I just wipe the gun clean, basically. When I'm at the range, I'll sit there, and it'll get disgusting and dirty, and I'll wipe it clean. Guys will watch me. I wipe my gun clean. Every now and then, you might want to scrub it with a brush, but you just put some liquid on it, you know, rub it on, especially when it's hot. You can grab a scrubbing brush or whatever, little brush, nylon, no metal, scrub, and it comes right off. Every bit of it. It just wipes right off. And stuff, you know, it protects from everything. You can see what happens. Hopefully you can. It gets, get my finger in there. It coagulates. You can still see how shiny it is, but it coagulates and turns back to this. Even the liquid does. And then when you start using it and heat it up, it starts working. It absolutely works. I know I'm jumping around, and I mean, all these guys that make videos, I keep watching guys use this, and they use, you know, the hoppies and everything. Well, you can't use hoppies on wood, especially laminated grips. You can't use it on, you know, your $60 G10 grips, or your high-vis, or you know, your sights. You know, it literally eats away at fiber optics. People say it doesn't. It does. This stuff does not. You can put it on anything. Wood, metal, plastic. I mean, these freaking grips were disgusting looking, and now they shine. It's not a joke. Even the screw was rusted. Now the screw is not rusted. Once you put it on there, you scrub everything, you clean everything right. It just works. I mean, using it on your AR, on the bolt, that's what it was for. It was meant for rifles, especially the AR, as dirty as it gets. It's meant for that gun. I mean, basically, I'll clean my gun, basically with maybe, I don't know, I'd say a few brush strokes of this once it's heated up with a heat gun or a hair dryer. I mean, actually, I'll break this down and I'll show you what I do. I need my tool for this. Anyway, what I'll do is, I have a heat gun, which I don't recommend. It does get a bit hot. But what I do is heat it up with the grips, everything. Just don't melt anything. Just heat it up. Heat up the lube. You see it starts liquefying. It gets all glassy. That's all you got to do. Heat up your parts a little bit. I get an old craft brush. Wipe it in. And just wipe it on. And you can be liberal with it. And even though when you think your gun's clean, after you clean it, now this is just a rough, you know, I'll just do it like this, which I probably normally would unless I take the barrel out. You know, you can brush the outside of it, doesn't matter. The only thing I don't like is on this gun with the serrations on the top and the back. Let me hold that like that. With the serrations, it gets stuck in there. It is kind of a bitch to clean, but you know, oh well. The stuff, it works. Keeps everything out. Like when you fire any gun and you get the muzzle gets blackened from firing, especially guys who reload, it gets really disgusting from the black powder. It doesn't stick to this gun. When I shoot it, I'll make a video. I'll take my phone. I'll make a video when I go to the range this weekend. And I'll shoot this. And I'll shoot 50 rounds. I'll leave the video on. I'll shoot them as fast as I can. And I'll come back. And if there is any carbon on here, I'll wipe it off with my finger. This stuff is awesome. Why more people don't use it, I don't know. But even the residual that's on my fingers, I can wipe my parts down. Guys do it with their ballistol. Personally, I think that stuff, it does work, but it smells like shit. And this stuff is better, in my opinion. But, you know, some guys have been using stuff for, 20, 30 years. I've been using this for like a year. But I've been cleaning guns for almost 20 years and shooting guns since I was young. So, this stuff, when I first started using it, is just freaking amazing. It's ridiculous. And another thing I do, which you should do, either when you're shooting, especially when you're shooting, they say you can season the barrel of your rifle, your handgun, anything. You could just squeeze a few drops of this stuff in the barrel, and when it gets real hot, you could literally just put your finger over there and shake it. And it'll get all in there. Get a bore snake, or run your patches through, whatever. I'll probably pull, even though this is treated, it's been treated many times, I'll pull, a patch through just to see if there's still carbon in there, and there still is. It just keeps coming out. Once this stuff gets embedded into the pores of the stainless steel, aluminum, anything, it just doesn't let anything get on your gun. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's plenty of videos on guys, they get real into this, and they'll show you the bottles. Well, some of these guys are paid. I'm not paid. I'm doing this just because I want to do it. Because I want people just to see what it does. Even just a sample of it for one gun will treat a whole gun. Just a little tiny 1 ounce sample. Just a little sample like this it'll treat a whole AR. A whole rifle. That is no joke. Basically, that's it. Just wanted to do a real quick review. Not a review, just kind of like just real quick, just to show what this stuff is capable of. And it isn't a joke. I mean, I'll even take this and fire this. This gun, trust me when I tell you, this thing was a piece of shit. If anybody knows anything about these guns, this was like $70 or $80 when I bought it. Now I can't get it not to fire. Before it was like a joke. I could pull the trigger too fast and it would just stop, or like I said, stovepipes or failure to feed. Now I cannot get it not to work. This will fire as fast as I pull the trigger. That's how I know this stuff is legitimate. This stuff is very legitimate. I'll use this on everything I have for as long as they make it. It's just ridiculous. And if you don't believe me, buy it yourself and use it. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching. Sorry I jumped all over the place, but I will do some shooting videos with some of my guns, and I will clean them. I'll show you on my phone. I will clean them, and I'll show you that all it takes is this. One of these. That's all it takes. I don't recommend cotton because it just comes apart. This stuff, you can get it all over, wash them, they come clean, Microfiber's good stuff. But that's all you have to do. And I will make videos of it, and I'll prove that this shit does really work. So, stay posted, and I'll show you.